Hello viewers, welcome to our program on immigration and you. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again we have with us attorney David Nachman. I think David wanted to has some kind of
agenda.
Agenda.
I have an agenda.
So let's know.
I have an agenda, Michael, because Michael, many of our viewers know that we were recently in India and we traveled around, especially in Mumbai, and had an opportunity to visit many of our clients, many of our friends who are very active in the Bollywood industry. And it was fascinating for me because, of course, I'm not as familiar with the Bollywood industry, to have had an opportunity to see how close and personal the relationships that you have with some of the directors, the actors, the actresses. And this is a great time for me, Michael, to have an opportunity to ask you a little bit about your history in the Bollywood industry and how you've taken your journey and, of course, our firm from Bollywood to Hollywood. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, David, it's a long story. The journey from Bollywood to Hollywood, let us call this program as a journey, not in terms of our shootings or our being actors, but in terms of our representing many of the singers, dancers, drama groups, shooting groups, bringing the people from India to US. Let me go back about 50 years. 50.
Only 50. Okay.
Only 50 years.
Okay.
And I had just started my practice of law at that time, but I always involved somehow, interested in the movies, and got into that business. Part-time, we started a small company of film distribution. And we used to get some second-run movies and started then exhibiting them. Exhibiting means screening. Mm-hmm. When you say distributor, I was distributor who distributes, give the films, give the movies to the cinemas, which are theaters, to run. So they are called the exhibitors. Okay. So this is what I did for some period of time. And while I'm going, I want to acknowledge 2 or 3 names of the people who were instrumental in my involvement with the Bollywood at that time. Mm-hmm. And one of the person I want to mention at this time is my very old close friend, Mr. A.R. Vyas. Okay. And as you know, you might know about his son, Ashok also.
Okay, yes.
So his father used to be a big film distributor. He used to do the same thing. And with him, I got involved, and then we both together started this business. Okay. And we got very much interested in the course of doing that business. And we met, through that thing, when these people used to come to India, like Jaipur, where the city is, they would generally call the company their own distribution company or somebody who knew to take care of them. Mm-hmm. And I know the names I'm saying probably you might have never heard. I met people, big actors like Dilip Kumar, like Devanand, and I think K. Asif, who made a movie of Mughal Azam. Actually, we went with him and his wives to Ajmer for Dargah Sharif. That's a Muslim place.
Yeah, of course.
So, and met Mr. Sunil Dutt. He was a lawyer, by the way, then became a big actor. And his first movie was a movie called Railway Platform. And then I went to see that a group of students met him. So this way, I got very much involved in that. And their movies, well known. Our viewers will know what I'm talking about, though. Movies like evergreen movies. I remember some of the name: Baiju Bawra, Tarana, Amar, Arpar, Jhansi Ki Rani, Amar Singh Rathod, many old, I can hundreds of them, I can.
So but at that time, you weren't an immigration lawyer, you were interested in the film industry.
Local law. No, I used to handle local cases, municipal cases, other cases.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm not a big time lawyer, but I was interested in Bollywood, and they got involved in business, make a little money there. But it was my passion. And in the course of that, because I was a lawyer, these company theaters or other distributors wanted some legal to make an agreement between them and this, and little problems. They also retained me to handle some of the legal affairs. But I always thought of being in Bollywood, a part of Bollywood, and that's how it started. Now, I came to United States, I'm saying about 40 years ago. When I came in, initially I got started in doing some work, and my first job was as a claims person. And then I got admitted to the bar. And they started working on immigration, and immediately the immigration practice got started, faster and faster. With the immigration,
Just out of curiosity, Michael, if I can interrupt you, when did you start filming ITV? Because I know how excited you are
exactly, I
when
tell
you come to do a filming.
1976.
Okay.
So you can
Okay.
say it's about 30 years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
almost,
Wow.
Non-stop.
Yeah, it's
Every week.
amazing. Yep, the show must go on.
Show must go on.
Right.
Never, ever miss the show. So, and thanks all the viewers for these years. I mean, I get clients today who said, "Oh, I watched you when I was 5 years old with my father and the family." So they have grown up on watching me on ITV, and now they are getting married, and they are coming, the children or the grandchildren are coming to get married, and they say, "We know you are our
Terrific.
family lawyer," and what.
Quite
So-
a
so-
legacy. Yeah.
So then what happens during this period, small things came in. And at this time also acknowledge one of my friends, Mr. Yashpal Soi, who used to bring these small singers and all that. And he came first time to me, he said, wanted to bring Ghulam Ali from Pakistan.
Okay.
So at that time, I said, no problem, I prepared the papers. You'll be surprised, you'll be shocked. I prepared the papers, I went to the immigration office, and I talked to the person, an officer who was doing that, who said, give me the papers, gave me a slip, go down, pay the fees, come up. And she went on a typewriter, tick, 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 and typed the approval notice and gave me in the hand. And I told Mr. So you sit in my office, I'm coming back.
People now don't even know what a typewriter is.
Exactly. So when I come back, I say, here it is. What is it? I say, approval. So what do you mean approval? You just went and had lunch and you came back? I say, yes, here it is. And you can send to her. Then, of course, it started. More,
that started
lot
to
of other
develop
singers,
relationships
drama
and-
groups.
Great.
And the other person, of course, I'll recognize is Mr. Kanu Chauhan. I did a lot of shows, lots of shows, big, small, dramas. Then came a time, then Mr. Chauhan introduced me to the Kapoor brothers, the sons of, all the three sons of Raj Kapoor, Rishi Kapoor, Ranbir Kapoor, and they came to...
So those
make-
names are more familiar to me.
make a movie. First time, that was my first shooting case.
Uh-huh.
And they came to make a name called Aao Ab Laut Chale, a very nice movie they made here. And they spent about 3 months with us here. So then, once that happened, a lot of other producers got involved, they interested. And everybody, of course, asked him, how did you go? How did you get the visa? And at that time, what happening, a lot of producers going directly to the consulate to apply for a B1, B2 visa for shooting. Consulate, I cannot issue that. You have to get an approval from the US. Approval from the US, oh, now we don't know, 1 month left, 2 months left, nobody ever told us. And they started calling Mr. Kapoor, other people, and he will say, okay, here it is. You pick me a phone and say, talk to this man, talk to that man. And it started. Today, you know that we represent, I would say, more than 75-80% of the entire Bollywood is still, we handle
very
the
impressive,
shootings
yeah.
over no two cases.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Michael, is maybe you can tell us just quickly, what are some of the visas of choice? And I know that you mentioned the P visa, and I was under the impression from our discussions with with our clients that the P stands for the Pawani visa, but I understand that it's actually not. It's the performing artist.
Performing
But
artist.
maybe you can tell me what visas of choice.
Let me
would
tell you that.
Yeah.
That time that I was talking about 40 years ago, 50 years ago, it was H1 visa, H1B.
Right.
H1B that you are done now today for technologists and IT people and all that. For all these performers, it was the same visa. Models were the same visa.
Right. That was distinguished merit and ability. That was
And
the
then the laws
P1990.
changed in, and they first they said no. They made different rules. They later on then also they brought in the union advisory opinions. I remember there was a senator from
1991,
Connecticut.
yeah.
Connecticut was the senator or somebody who introduced this to
Right.
protect the U.S. workers.
Correct,
He
yeah.
said before you can bring anybody, you must consult the unions, and they have a
Condition application.
yeah,
right.
of course,
Uh-huh.
that
Yeah.
opinion, as we know, is not binding on the immigration service, but then we have to go. Now, anybody comes in, we got to package, we got to give all the background, the publicity materials, the extraordinary ability, the why other people are coming, essentiality. There are a lot of issues.
So
lot
let's
of
say,
issues
okay,
in
so
that.
let's say you have a model that comes to you, a person who wants to come, whether it be a male or a female model. What type of visas would you look at? I mean, one would definitely be the H, because the H still exists for models, and a lot of people think that you have to have the bachelor's degree, but for models, you don't. There's a special carve-out for distinguished merit and ability for models. What's another visa?
Well,
that
this is your
would you look at?
O1B is another
Exactly,
option.
an O1B,
And of course,
sure.
they are performing. I mean,
Right.
of course, they are not performing, then these are the two options.
Right.
But if they're
Exactly.
performing, the P3 can be considered also.
Right,
Now,
the
we
P
know
visa,
that recently, Yeah, we cannot tell names of all the people. Rishi Kapoor, of course, is since he a close friend, and I can mention his name anywhere or put in the papers or any place. We have very, very big company. Some of the top Bollywood companies, the actors that on the top, I don't know their names again. Almost every single actor, big actor, has been in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, our client.
So you're actually instrumental, Michael, in being able to assist agents here in the United States who are working with Bollywood folks to bring shootings to the United States where there could be a group of 100, maybe 200 people, right? You're able to help them
I
with
had
that.
a group of actually, for performance, the biggest group was about 130, 140 people that came with the big actor called Amitabh Bachchan, and their whole big group came in, and there's no problem at all.
I know,
And the shooting groups also lost anywhere between 50, 60 to maybe about 100 people. So that's what happened.
and there are very special issues that deal with Bollywood and with performing artists and performers because, for example, let's say you had a performer who's an underage performer, a juvenile performer, then obviously that person has to be accompanied by their guardians.
Yes.
And so there are very special issues which come up in the Bollywood context where we have to make sure that obviously they're given the appropriate guidance to be able to get the visas that they need.
See, in shootings, there's one person at least called O1, which is extraordinary ability.
Right.
And the rest of the people could be supporting him. And then they come under O2. But we have to explain, there are 80 people group coming in, the ones that we are doing right now, for example, big movie, 85 people, group people.
Right.
For each person, we have to give a detailed description and convince that his presence is essential.
Right.
For example, they say makeup person, you then say why? I say because the person has started already doing the makeup in the first part, and whatever the shooting takes place in US also needs the same makeup. Hairstylist, same problem. There's a language issues there. There's essentiality issues there. The continuity issues there. Many issues are there that you need really a lot of experience in order to convince the unions first.
Unions, that's
and then
very big. Tell us a little bit about the unions.
Unions, there are so many unions, every different union, directors union, actors union, producers union, and you have to figure out
But
which,
what do we do as lawyers? What is our role with those unions to help our clients? What do we do?
well, the unions, so far, there's different way that the P's are done and the O's are done.
Correct.
The O1 or O2 visas, the union has to be convinced that, although under the law, there's no requirement that to show that there are no US workers available, but practically they look at that. Practically they don't say that, they say, why do you have to bring that? Why do you have to bring that? Why do you have to bring a assistant? Why do you have to bring a makeup person? Why do you bring the bodyguard? New things happening.
Right.
Some of the actors, they want always a bodyguard to come with them.
Right.
Some people want their assistant.
Assistants, of
the
course.
female actress is top, she wants just a lady that will
Right.
take her clothes out and
Right.
put her and dress her and all.
right.
So every person plays an important role.
Right.
And our position is that for the success of the production, we need this, we
Yes.
need that. Because I tell you, at one time there was a big actor, I cannot tell names, one of the top actors that is today. And the consul refused, the immigration refused at that time. That personal assistant is not required. Why the personal assistant they have to bring? A personal assistant, a bodyguard and this and that. He said, I'm not going to come to US. I don't want to come without my bodyguard. We somehow we managed it, got him, then he was happy.
Right.
So essentiality is an issue. In the P groups, we have to show they are culturally unique.
Correct.
So there are different aspects.
Right.
And
And the next part, the next component, I guess, of the visa application, after you have the visa approved in the United States, is then you have to send them to the U.S. consulate in India, and you have to choose an appropriate consulate where the timing is going to go correctly, and then, of course, to get those visas
deal
through.
with some issues at the consulate. So anyway, we're running out of time, and thank you very much, David, and thank you all of you for watching the program, and goodbye.